This is Missy from Mannequin Pussy, and this is the Bothering the Band podcast.
Oh my goodness, we're so excited right now. So, Missy, your real name's Marissa,
So
right?
true. Yes, Marissa DeBeast.
Who do you have different people in your life call you different things?
Yeah, well, my dad was the first person to call me Missy.
Okay.
So, like, growing up, that was like my family nickname. And then, yeah, I've had so many different kind of nicknames throughout my life. Like, my last name DeBeast, like, a lot of people called me DeBeast growing up, or Beast, or like, some variation of that. And then, oh yeah, once I put Missy into the song Drunk 2, so many people in my life started calling me Missy, where like before it was really like my dad and like really close friends. And then yeah, I don't know, it's just a name. And people misspell Marissa all the time. And so I think Missy is just kind of sweeter and nice.
That's remarkable. I'm happy you brought up Drunk too because I just love that song so much. I was listening to that today, right, like on the way to get bagels this morning.
Oh no, are you okay?
I love it.
Are you doing okay? Okay.
I love it. I mean, I'm doing okay. It was a perfect bagel song.
Okay.
Uh, um, that being said, I saw you play that song in Fort Lauderdale last year, and that show is killer.
Oh
Do you remember
no,
that show,
you're
Fort Lauds?
what's up with my
Oh,
internet?
she's frozen.
Oh no.
I got new internet. I just like moved into a new apartment. I think shit might be fucked, but I think we're back.
I think we're back. I think we're good. It's no worries. This is
Okay.
very punk rock podcast. So
Okay. Cool. So yeah, they're just gonna be like interruptions, technological shit.
they're just gonna hear us be like, "Well, she's frozen."
Yeah, that's
It
fine.
was. I will say it was a flattering freeze. Most of the time, they're not. Yours was just
Okay.
kind of.
It was
You
very
know?
neutral in
Yeah,
comparison to.
That's very nice.
you weren't like this or anything like that, you know?
Okay.
So I was asking about the Fort Lauderdale show last year, which I loved going to. You came to Florida. Not many people come to Florida.
Yeah, I think you have to make a special arrangement to go to Florida. Like I think this is the problem that Florida is like the come to Brazil of America. It's like for anyone who's in the industry, they know what I mean when I say come to Brazil. Or just like if you've ever read comments on like any tour announcement ever, there's just gonna be a lot of comments that are just like come to Brazil, and that's Florida. Like that's what it is. But it's like you have to just like you got to do it and just like spend a whole week there. Like the fans are so excited, and I have theories on why people don't go to Florida, but yeah, I don't know. I think I remember the show. Was it an indoor venue that had like a balcony up top, maybe, and like the stage was very high?
Yeah, there's like a pit. It like you like
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
so the balcony goes. It's like all around. It's kind of like a House of Blues light,
Right.
and it's like and then where the audience is, like the pit goes, you have to walk down into it. So yeah, the stage is pretty high.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that show.
But
I do.
there's not even a question here. It's just fucking fantastic. I love being at that show. My friend Harumi, shout out to her. She got a set list, I think.
Hmm.
The only thing and this will lead to our next question, is I didn't forget. I just was like, oh, I'll buy it online or something like that. I meant to buy the I Got Heaven hoodie, and now it's sold out. So, do you ever have the opposite of buyer's remorse, where it's like purchase remorse, where you're like, I should have bought that?
Yeah, I think I'm such a like I try to be frugal and not give in to my whims. So like anytime I want to buy anything and that thing is like over $70, I have to think on it for like a
Same.
moment. And I'm like, okay, if I'm still thinking about this in 3 days, if I'm still thinking about this in 1 week, like then I'm gonna go buy it. And but like with a show, you kind of can't do that. You kind of just gotta like you have to go into your impulses a little
Rookie
bit
mistake.
because then like they're on the road, like that could be gone, that might not be online, but I don't know, we'll probably bring some things back eventually. I'm sure I could scrounge one up for you.
You have to do that with Curbside furniture also, by the way. I would just like to point out, as somebody who has already complained several times today about this table and chairs that was on the curb in front of a house recently that I didn't get. I went to it. It said they wanted money for it. And I was like, if it's still here at the end of the day, I'm just going to ask. And it sat there all day. And then finally I was like, all right, I'm going back. I get in my car, drive over there. It's gone.
Of course.
So.
And now you're even more, like, I think I'm more bummed than if I just had been like, whatever. Like, I don't need it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like almost like you've resolved to, like, I want it now. I want it so bad.
Especially stuff for the house. Like, that's such a particular thing. You don't want.
And it was so perfect. But like when I pulled up to it first and saw like their little please Venmo us, my instinct was to be upset because you put it on the curb.
Yeah, who's putting a scan code or whatever on on something on the curb? Like, it's on the curb. Like, that's
you
free.
Can't just take it. Not where I live. It's a very small community.
Yeah. And someone would see you and they'd rat you out.
I drive past this house multiple times every day. Like, there's like I think 1,500 people in my little town. So.
Oh, wow, cute.
They'd be chasing you. Give me back my nightstand.
They would be like, and they'd put it on Facebook because they're all really into that here.
Mm-hmm.
Or next door.
It'd be like,
yeah. They would get you on the Ring camera and you'd be fucked. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly.
Bad karma.
It'd be on some message board on Facebook for the neighborhood.
But now there's probably a video of me going, when it was gone. All day I waited.
I am sorry for your loss.
Where are you at in the world right now?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Is that where you reside full time now?
I just moved to LA.
What?
I know.
Well, I'm just gonna blow this up right now. We just had a meeting today about possibly doing a show in September, a live show in LA.
Oh, cool.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah, I'm like mostly not on tour. I don't think I'm on tour until like the 17th or something of September.
Oh, okay.
So depending on when, yeah, I mean, it's like, I was like, I don't know, like when this will become like a public thing that I've moved away from Philadelphia, my beloved home of like over 12 years. I guess right now. I mean, it's like, yeah, you asked me where I am and I was like, I could lie and say I'm in Philly, but that would be weird.
Yeah. I texted 2 Philly buddies today. I was like, I got Mannequin Pussy on the podcast today, dude.
Yeah. 2 of us moved out here and the other 2 are still on the East Coast. So we're going to be a little like bi-coastal band, but like, it was just one of those things where I never in my life thought I would move to Los Angeles. It was never something I wanted for myself. And then the last couple years, I've had to come here like once a month for work. And if I hadn't moved here yet this year, I would have already had to come here 4 times in the first 3 months. And so I just like, I'm one of those people who really believes that when you're paying attention to the breadcrumbs of your life, sometimes it's going to lead you away from the place that you like thought was your forever home or a situation that you thought was forever. Like you never really know. And sometimes you don't even like have a choice in the direction that like your life takes you. But I have to say, I think it's already one of the best things I've done for myself was to like take a huge leap and put myself into a new environment. And yeah, just like, I've never like moved across the country. I've never lived on the West Coast in my entire life. So I'm really excited about just like, I don't know, all the newness like that comes with like putting yourself into a completely new environment. So I'm really excited about it. And yeah, I feel like this is gonna break a lot of Philadelphians' hearts.
Oh, breaking Philadelphians' hearts.
Which I don't want to do because I love Philly so much. I'm just such a Philly bitch. And like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like you gotta roll the dice sometimes and do something new for yourself.
Of course. Without giving away too much, in LA, do you live more east, more west, more east, north in like Glendale area? Where you at?
I have a sublet in Glendale. Like on the edge of Eagle Rock for a while. We have like a studio out there. But no, I'm like more like centrally located. I'm in K-Town. I'm in like Koreatown. So it's great. Like I love it. I have a parking spot, so it's chill.
Whoa, that's cool. And no one's saying John out there?
No one's saying John with I miss. There's a lot of Philly shit. Actually, it's so wild. Like when the Eagles were getting like into the playoffs and finals and then the
Yeah.
Super Bowl, like I wear my Eagles shit around, and like every time I left the house wearing an Eagles sweatshirt, someone would come up to me in LA to be like, "Oh fuck, like go Birds, like you from Philly," and then like we'd get into just like an absolute bro down over Philadelphia because they were like someone also from Pennsylvania or from Philly. And yeah, so like I've never like, I don't know, I think people have this reputation or this idea of people in LA being very like, I don't know, too cool to
Too
just
cool
like
for school.
approach someone
Yeah.
on the street, but like that has not been my experience at all. Especially like wearing an Eagle shirt, it's like people from Pennsylvania just like come right up to you and it's just very cute.
Oh, I mean that's camaraderie. I also like I don't like those stereotypes of cities. I lived in New York for a long time, and everyone was like, "Oh, New Yorkers are rude," and I'm like, actually, now I'm in Florida. I'm like, actually, I think it's the reverse, man. Like everyone in New York, they'll talk to you and they'll engage, and down here, if you say like "thank you" or like something off, like out of what's happening, they're just like they don't know what to do with it. It's wild. Like
I
Abby
can't
was saying,
handle it.
yeah. Ended up on Ring cameras. All right, so we're gonna. I don't know how to follow your introspective, moving scene setting there. We're just gonna go for it. A fucking dumb
Yeah,
question.
what you think is a small question, where in the world are you, just turned into like me, like I just made a major life decision.
That's what we're
Like,
after.
yeah.
That's exactly what we're after, and we can't wait to hopefully bother you in LA. What music are you currently into?
What have I been listening to a lot? What am I listening to? Um, let's see. What was on my I'm really loving that new like OK Lou album. I like that new Cameron Winter album a lot. Jessica Lee Mayfield just put out some new
Oh,
music
nice.
that I'm loving. Um, I was getting back into a 10 Tricks Point Never record that I love as well. Um, yeah, some like Rachmaninoff, some like piano concertos
Oh,
while I was like unpacking all my boxes of my Philadelphia life here. Yeah, I've been like listening to music more, which I think I was like kind of taking a break from for a little bit. Just 'cause there was just so much noise around me. I felt like I had to like settle my brain, and now I'm like enjoying listening to music again.
oh, that's good. That's a good feeling to just like have it naturally come back. That little
hmm
love, you know. Where's the weirdest place you've ever heard your own music
Um,
besides John Mulaney's show?
well, that I was expecting. So, uh, I was somewhere really recently, actually, in LA where it was playing. I think it was, yeah, it was just like some like little like coffee shop I went to.
Oh, cool.
Um, and I think like, yeah, like one of the songs from I Got Heaven was playing. But I've only had that experience a few times where I've like actually been somewhere. I've had like in Philly, I would go sometimes to a place and get recognized, and then they would put it on while I was there, and I would just feel like so deeply embarrassed by that. But
You're not
I
the
think
first person to tell us that.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think that
where people
it's
have walked in somewhere and they reckon like they don't say anything, they recognize and they put it on, and they're
we
like,
put it on. Like, is he
I'd
awake?
rather you just ask me for a fucking photo." Like,
Yeah, it's just like such a horrific experience, I think, to like be like, oh my God, that's me.
and you look down, you're wearing a Mannequin Pussy shirt. Like,
Yeah, which
oh god,
I do from like time to time. Like I love our own merch so much, so like I do occasionally wear it. If I'm like no one's gonna know it's me. But
everyone
yeah,
is.
you shouldn't make anyone make anything that you wouldn't wear yourself anyway. I think that's a good rule of merch.
Yeah, that is pretty good
I
rule.
like that rule.
Yeah, I'm gonna institute that with bothering the band merch.
Yeah,
Anyways, are you a patient person?
yeah, I think I've become a much more patient person. I used to be, but I think it's like that's one of the greatest gifts about growing older is that you start to like unlearn the idea that everything's supposed to have an immediate return. Like we're just so I was just talking about this with a friend where it's like just like I think one of the symptoms of like the dopamine obsessed society that we live in is that we expect immediate returns on everything. And that's just not the way that life works at all. Like that's like the way it could work on your phone that like immediately you get a hit of something, you get that like that burst in your brain you're looking for, but that's not how fucking life works. And so, I think once I started to unlearn this idea that things are supposed to happen quickly in your life, it was a lot easier to like sit back and allow it to happen on the timeline that it happens. And even something like moving to LA, which really took me about like 3 months to do fully. Um, yeah, it was just like it's good to remind yourself like be patient. You can be patient and just like allow it to happen as it unfolds.
I know, I hear you, and I welcome it with age because I'm a very impatient person, but there's still a little boy inside of me, especially if it's something good. Like we had the meeting about the LA show today, and I'm like, I want it right now. I want it. I want to do it tomorrow, and I want it to be huge, and I want to put in no work right now. I just want it to exist.
Yeah, I feel like when there's something I'm really excited about, I get into the like X amount of sleeps until,
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's one of my favorites. That's how I count it too.
where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm like, okay, five sleeps until I got this.
Mm-hmm.
70 sleeps, and then like there it is, like whatever many it is, and then it kind of forces you a little bit to
Like
just,
drug.
yeah, slow down a little bit. Yeah, like Abby knows what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
No, I dig it too. Yeah. This is my favorite question. Do you own any Lululemon clothing?
I do not know.
So happy. So
I own a pair of Aloe shorts, ALO,
okay.
like these like sweat
Yeah.
shorts. I feel like that's like kind of adjacent.
It is.
Um,
The next question was any athleisure.
yeah, I think that's the only pair of athleisure I have is these sweat shorts from Aloe that are so comfortable. But no, all that shit's like made of plastic and it's like abhorrently
And it's
expensive.
$100 million.
I can't spend that
Exactly.
on leggings.
I know.
No.
So I live in the burbs of South Florida, and I have a daughter. And when I take her to school or pick her up, all the moms, it's like a uniform. It's like just black leggings, some sort of Lululemon shirt, and these ladies ain't working out. Just saying. But I'm like, just get a personality too. Like, come on, wear regular clothes.
I used to have this job um a few years ago when, before like touring was such a full-time job for us and Mannequin Pussy was where I had a job working for a moving company where I'd go to people's homes and pack up all their stuff for their move.
Oh,
And what I learned during that job is that the wealthier people are, the less individual tastes they have. Where like I would be going into these like multi-million dollar like apartments or homes or like just like people who have so much money where they could afford to hire someone to pack up all their stuff and whatever. And you start to realize that everyone has the same shit. They don't have this obsession with like individuality or finding their own style in their home. They're just like, that's the West Elm couch, that's the article couch, that's the like, and you just start to like repeat it. And I think there's probably a lot of reasons for that, but I think, culturally people sometimes like to be domed in that way where they're just like, just tell me what I should look like. Tell me what I should wear. Tell me what couch I should buy. I've been seeing this on TikTok lately, and I was just complaining about it to a friend where there's this trend where people will go on TikTok and be like, girlies, what shoe are we wearing this spring? And I'm like, why do you need anyone to tell you what shoe to wear this spring? Like, just decide what you like and,
do that.
do that. But, I think when you're younger too, and you're like a little bit different, you get bullied. So I think a lot of people's like personality gets bullied out of them at a young age, and then they never unlearn that trauma.
Yeah. I'm not going to let that happen to my kid. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, thank you for giving such a profound answer to a very dumb question.
Do you own any woo woo women?
Yeah. And this one's even dumber. Okay. hypothetically, your partner wakes up every morning screaming bloody fucking murder. Do you think you could get past it?
Yeah. I mean, how in love am I? If I'm waking up every morning with someone, then I must be really in love. So
And he
yeah, I think
screams,
I
or
would do
he or she
any
screams.
yeah, I would do anything to help them figure out what was going on psychologically with them and make sure they're going to therapy. You know, I don't want to be anyone's therapist. But yeah, I could deal with that if the love is there and everything else is good.
What if it was a physical, not a mental therapy thing? It was just that's their physical tick.
I mean, yeah,
Deal with
if
it.
that's
I'm
them.
so happy.
I'm just saying those Bose noise canceling headphones don't fuck around. So,
Yeah.
you know?
Also, if I'm going to live with someone again in my life, like we could have separate bedrooms.
You could, yeah. Oh my god, I'm so
You
happy
know?
you.
I have said this so many times.
Are you aware of the Scandinavian sleep method?
No.
I'm super into this. So in Scandinavia, because it's just so cold and people have different ways of sleeping and it can like really disturb everyone. Couples have their own duvet covers in a bed. So there's two in it. So like
Oh.
you're like you can still kind of cuddle because you're close to each other, but you're sleeping under your own
So I've done
comforters.
that accidentally
You
just
need
because I
separate.
hate the pulling blankets
You need
away.
separate
Yeah,
blankets.
exactly. Yeah, you need because like in the middle of the night, someone's tugging, or if like they're moving around, they're gonna hit you. Like Maxine and I went to Berlin, like the lead guitarist in MP, and um, she and I went on a vacation to visit some friends there after a tour, and we shared an Airbnb, and at that Airbnb they had like just two duvet covers, and it was like the best I've ever shared a bed with anyone in my life because I was just like wasn't getting woken up by them like moving around or getting out of bed. But yeah.
And you could still like touch feet and hold hands and just under two different blankets. I'm
Get
big
off my
big fan.
blankets, man.
Big
Yeah,
fan.
exactly.
Or
And then, you
woman
know, yeah, whoever's
or
next to you.
person.
Okay, I can't wait to hear the profound answer here. Where are you cutting your toenails, and what are you doing with the clippings?
I usually rip them off and throw them across the room.
Okay,
Dope.
I vacuum like once a week.
you're like I get
Or
it.
or you know, if I'm like if it's a good month, I'll go get a fucking pedicure.
Oh, I love a mani pedi.
Doing that
You know?
tomorrow.
Do that.
Love
Yeah,
a
it feels
mani
great.
pedi.
But yeah, I tend to just like rip them.
Okay, I love it.
What's your answer?
I'm very proud. Like, I don't even want to say my answer. I go outside
That's very practical.
because then I'm like,
Then
I
you
ain't
don't even
doing
have to
shit,
vacuum.
dude.
I live
They
alone,
fly
so
everywhere too when
I
I
can
clip
do
them.
whatever the fuck I want, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about offending anyone in my space.
Same.
Hmm.
Okay, this question comes from my daughter. When's the last time you had one of those little bags of Doritos? You know, the little ones that come in the pack of the variety pack?
Um, well, sort of. I think it might count on the plane. Actually, back to LA from
Yeah.
last weekend. I ordered one of those on the plane.
Love a little snack bag.
Only
I
they
had,
charge the big bag price because you're on a plane, and then you get
yeah.
the little one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I bought her the pack with like the Ruffles and the Fritos and the both Doritos, and I was eating the Cool Ranch. I
Oh,
was eating the Cool
yes,
Ranch
I love
yesterday.
those.
Uh,
I just got a Costco membership, so like maybe that's in store for me.
yeah,
Yippee.
Costco.
But
Costco's
you
the
live
best for like
alone. What are you going to do with all that bulk?
I'll share it, you know?
toilet paper.
Sell it on
Put
the
it out for
side.
people. Yeah, I'll
Paper
put it out on the curb.
towels are the best to get from Costco. Love Costco.
Okay.
What's the last thing you stole?
Um, some moving boxes actually. I went my my yeah. We went well, I had to go get a bunch of moving boxes and the direction were stolen on my behalf.
Okay.
But the direction was there that like, yo, if you can just like get some of these.
You had a guy, you had a middleman, so you didn't take the
Yeah.
rap.
Free 99 style. Yeah, I was trying moving is so fucking expensive, so it's like anywhere I could cut some corners.
They say like moving and divorce are like the most stress and like quitting like a an addiction are the three most stressful things you can do in your life.
Yeah, I believe it.
Fuck, moving.
I feel good. I feel pretty good though about where my mind's at after this move, where I'm like, okay, like can handle anything. I just like you just gotta meditate and figure your shit out. Be calculated. Don't expect anything to happen too fast. I used to steal a lot when I was like in my 20s, and there was a certain point where I was like, quit while you're ahead.
Yeah.
Like Whole Foods is gonna catch on to you eventually. Barnes and Noble's gonna catch up to you eventually. Like just stop now and yeah, you'll never get caught. So
That's a great mentality. I feel like you should, like, gamblers should have that. You're like, I'm up, out.
yeah, yeah, I wish it was that easy for them to do that, but I don't think it is.
uh, Follow-up question for the moving. When you got to your new place and you're like, there, are you, let's unpack everything, get settled quick, or you take your time?
Oh yeah, I'm like almost done unpacking and I've been here since like Monday.
Oh, fuck yeah, I love it. I can't deal with, I can't live in like boxes.
No. Like my home, I think just like by virtue of the touring life and like what your home eventually means to you, to be home means like it has to be as chaos free as possible. It has to be a nesting situation where I feel like I am like a mother bird and also baby bird at the same time, and I'm trying to build myself a nest. So I'm just trying to do that as quickly as possible and like get everything together so that I feel really like settled and calm because it's been a really wild like 15 months at this point. So I just, yeah, I'm like really looking forward to settle. But it's looking great in here. I'm really excited.
Abby, when did you move to your place?
I keep all the chaos neatly organized in a corner
And
of
how
one
many
room.
boxes?
I think there's still 5 left.
How long ago did you move?
2 years.
I think I'll have like probably 2 boxes of just like, what the fuck do I do with this stuff? And I don't know how long those boxes will last, but I'm gonna try not to.
Yeah, I think a couple are accept. Like, there's always one where you're like, I'm not sure about this, if I want this forever in
Yeah.
this new environment. But I like those things. Did you bring or buy lunch when you were in school? This is also for my kid.
Yeah, I think I brought lunch
Yeah.
mostly, but I did. I also recently told this story to someone that I learned the value of what money is by school lunch. Where when I was in kindergarten, my mom they had like these dollar ice creams, and so like I like would pack lunch a lot, but my mom gave me like $1 for the ice cream, and my friend really wanted an ice cream. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll just give you part of my dollar." So I just ripped the dollar in half, thinking that would make it $2. And then we like went up to the lunch line together and each tried to get it. And the lunch waiter was like, "No, sweetheart, this is not how that works. You can't just like rip $1 in half and that becomes $2," which is like where my mind went as a 5-year-old. And I never forgot that because I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense." I guess that would be like too chaotic if that was like actually the
But
rule of
also,
the
you're
land.
I
like
think it's brilliant.
naive
This is $2 now.
child logic.
It's so,
Makes perfect sense too.
of course.
It's
Yeah,
only
it
one.
does.
Now it's 2.
I
Yeah.
also hope
I
that
would have
woman
given
or
it to you.
yeah, I would have been like, fuck, these kids are brilliant.
She did not.
Was she at least
I
nice? Because it's
I don't even
adorable.
think she let me tape it back together to get one.
Look, she's the only teacher in school actually teaching economics. So
Yeah, exactly.
maybe we let her have it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Are you taking a drink of water with food in your mouth? And this comes from me watching a movie recently where someone is eating and drinking at the same time. I was like, who does that?
No, I don't think I do that.
You ever do that, Abby?
Not unless it's required. Like if I've taken too big of a bite or it's a lot drier than I thought it might be, and it's like, but regularly, no. But
It
I
happens in movies a
also
lot.
drink beverages at an incredibly slow rate.
Yes, I know.
So
I drink them really fast. I've already had like 3 smart waters right now that I stole from Whole Foods and the airport.
Okay.
Okay. When's the last time you were hanging out in a friend's bedroom?
Oh fuck, I don't know.
That's a tough one, right? So this is just solidarity here. I'm like, it made me think like we just hung out in our friends' bedrooms forever, and then one day it stopped and we never talked about it again.
Well, yeah, I mean that's because like we used to live with our parents, so that was the
Yeah,
only like place of refuge we had to hide from the parents. I think. Does like someone's like studio apartment count?
yeah,
I
yeah. You
mean,
can chill on the
technically,
bed, you know.
Yeah.
but I have hung out in someone's room more recently.
Like at a house party.
Well, I mean, does it count like I had a roommate
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I would go hang out in her room or vice versa when we were getting ready?
Actually, probably tomorrow I'm gonna hang out in my friend's room because I'm gonna go see Maxine's new place in LA,
Oh, cool.
and she's got a cool bedroom that she's very excited about setting up. So I probably tomorrow. This is like a future answer, but pre that, yeah, unless it was like a studio, like I don't
But
think
it's
I
true.
can.
It's not like a regular, like you would go over to someone's house and you immediately go in their room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get ready, like you said, get ready, listen to music, you talk shit, you know. I'm like, I want to do that. Can we do that?
Yeah.
We should do that. That's the pod. That's the next pod. Is we just go to
And
musicians' bedrooms.
ooh, that's our shtick.
Let us into your bedroom. What was your first job?
My first job was working at Ben and Jerry's when I was
Oh,
16. Like the day I turned 16, I got a job. Um, I worked at Ben and Jerry's, and it was a fucking great first job because it was like a lot of my friends in high school were also like working there. So we were, uh, yeah, we were having a great time. We were smoking a lot of weed, doing whippets,
just about
that
to say.
job,
I was just about to ask.
Were you at my high school?
making Vermonsters for people, which if you don't know is the like, I don't know if they still do them at Ben and Jerry's, but it's like the 40 scoop bowl like sundae that you can buy, the Vermonster. Um, yeah, I loved that job. And then like I worked there for a while, but like maybe a few months in, I got a second job, also in high school, like as a like pizza delivery girl at a, or maybe that came later actually, but yeah, I was like working at a pizza place. So like, so for most of high school, or like half of high school, I had two jobs at Ben and Jerry's and the pizza shop.
And when were you moving rich people?
Oh, that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh,
Well,
you're like, oh, you steal anything? You never stole anything from them? No.
No, I mean that. I think that would be wildly inappropriate. My brain developed, like I think that's part of like the stealing thing is eventually like your brain develops and you're like there's an appropriate person to steal from and a not appropriate person. I would never steal from an individual,
No, only corporations.
only corporations.
Yep. Okay. Um, what are you proud of today?
I'm proud of this fucking apartment. I'm proud of moving to LA. I'm proud of like
Yeah.
everything kind of coming together in the timeline and way that I've like really been hoping that it would. I'm feeling proud that yeah, like how much I love our band and that it's a really wild uh yeah, it's just like like a lot of things change over the last 3 years, but in really beautiful ways. So yeah, but it definitely yeah, the apartment is just really beautiful and I'm so into it. So
Oh,
it
I'm
feels
so
great.
happy. We're proud of you. Also, I do you guys have this like you're like we've talked about this before on the pod where you have this band you like and you get so proud when they start making like big moves, and that's how I feel about your band. Like 2 3 years ago, like I love your band and now I'm like, yes, other people are loving this band. I'm so happy. Told you so. You guys have any bands like that where like you saw them come up, or even people, comedians, actors, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I have like a bunch of people in my life who I think like I was a big believer in before the masses. Like my friend Michelle in Japanese Breakfast, like
Oh yeah.
she was someone who I believed in for a really long time before she like really broke. Um, really like super incredibly talented and creative person. And who else am I feeling that way about? I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of different people, but I think that's probably like the best example of it.
we're like movie or we're music and geeks first and foremost. So it's like great. So we're like on the ground floor of a lot of cool stuff, and it's really great when the bands are like you said, are like, man, they deserve that shit, and I think you
Yeah.
guys deserve it. You put in the great work, and
Yeah, knowing how hard and how long people work. Again, it kind of goes back to the first thing we were talking about, where it's like expecting immediate returns.
mm-hmm.
Entertainment is such a weird place to expect that to happen because it like takes 10 years to like build a reputation for yourself. And then like when it hits, it hits. I don't know.
Okay, Missy, when's the last? Do you go to the dentist regularly, or the dermatologist? Any of those like maintenancey things? Do you go do that regularly?
No, I haven't. I was like on tour for like 9 months last year, so I haven't seen a doctor in a minute. But I am getting my new insurance soon, so it's on my plan to. I think I saw a dentist like not too long ago, maybe like a year and a half ago. I try to maintain myself.
This is what the fans want to know. That's a write-in question from the biggest fans on the internet.
Weirdos.
They just want to know if we're just keeping up. We're
Yeah, general maintenance. I got like a mole issue I've checked out and stuff. So,
yeah, you got to. Okay, do you have any book recommendations for us?
yeah, I just a few weeks ago finished reading All Fours by Miranda July. I thought that book was incredible. I just absolutely love her style of writing and the way that she tells stories and the way that the yeah, like her pacing in her novels has always like really spoken to me about the way that she can like set up a story and deliver these like it's both like so introspective and almost like fantasy at the same time while feeling like her real life. Um, one of my favorite books is this book, Master and the Margarita, or The Master and
I
Margarita.
love that book
I
so
love that
much.
book so much. And I feel like that's one I always try to recommend to people. I think I always recommend Stranger in a Strange Land, the like
Oh
Robert
yeah,
Heinlein
yeah,
movie, the science fiction novel. Um, and then I just started reading this like um our Australian front of house guy recommended it to me because we were talking about just like we're talking about world politics and I made this comment as to like why the fuck are we waging wars for territory in 2025? And he was like, we should read this book called Prisoners of Geography. And it basically like uses geographic limitations and realities to explain why certain conflicts happen over the world, and it gives you this really unique perspective that like isn't really discussed so much. Where you're like, oh, that's why someone might wage war for territory because they're like geographically locked in, or they don't have access to this port, or like whatever. So I've been reading that book, and it's a really it's like a unique insight that I hadn't really considered, like when thinking about geopolitics.
I love it. I know yeah, my brain immediately went to both those books. I'm like, I know who I like. Of course, I want to read them. I'm like, I know who I would buy both of those books for.
Yeah.
You know. Um, okay, so two final questions. One, we end the episode with a song from our guest. What song of yours should we tag on the end of this episode?
Bars?
Yeah.
Oh, Loud Bark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. Love that song. So same with the Pride, like Florida, like coming to Florida and seeing you in Florida. I was like, that place was packed and sweaty and moshing. I just loved it. I was like so proud in that concert. And the last question is, well, second to last. What musician, live or dead, would you want to interview in the vein of bothering the band? So really dumb, silly questions. And what would you ask them?
Amy Winehouse. I'd want to interview Amy.
Should have locked, loaded.
Yeah, I mean, she was like every interview I've ever seen of her, she's just like she's so smart and like snarky in the best ways and like just so witty and she can like deliver a dig so effortlessly.
Yeah.
Um and I think I don't know, maybe she would appreciate some dumb like kind of like less heady questions that have like less to do with her personal life and more to do just like with
Being a person.
yeah, like whatever comes up out of her.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuff we all share, that's exactly what we're going for. That's amazing. Anything you would ask her? Anything silly you would ask her?
Um That I don't know. I'd have to think about
It's a
like what a
tough one.
dumb question would be that I would ask her.
Lululemon. Do you have any Lululemon?
Yeah, I don't even know Lululemon was like around yet during that time. Maybe she'd be like, "What's that?" Yeah, I don't know. I would be interested in like maybe like what's the like when she started making money and being successful, like what's like the biggest purchase she made for herself, or like what was that like? I'm gonna treat myself because now I have this like new tax bracket kind of feel.
Jet ski. She's like, I'm buying a jet ski.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in London, so
Yep.
many places to use it on the Thames or whatever, wherever that
So
is.
many
Not even.
fountains.
I just park it out front. Let the kids take pictures on it. Okay, so what's next for you and the band?
We're doing like mostly I'd say it's a relaxed year, but it's not really. We're mostly doing like festival weekends, like weekenders around festivals. I think the longest tour we have this year is like 17 days. So we're going to Europe and the UK end of May for like 2 weeks to play some shows. Then we have like a 2.5 week tour in June here, and then everything else is like just like little weekends. And then yeah, we're like writing a lot of new music, and hopefully we'll be in the studio in the next like couple months to just I just like want to get in the act. Like I think that's one of the cons of touring so much is that performance is very different than creativity, I think. Whereas like to access your creative side, you really need to like hide yourself away and not be seen. You have to like really focus on this thing. So the next couple weeks as like we're off, Maxine and I are just like cooking up a lot that we're out here, and then eventually Bear and Kayleen will join us and we'll do some like writing together. And I don't know, I'd love to put out a few new songs this year just because we have a bunch of ideas. Like I don't want to be as precious anymore with the idea of like hoarding songs for an album. I just like want to put things out as it feels good, just to be creative and just to share something and to introduce some new energy into the set. So yeah, I mean that's what I'm just looking forward to, just like being like a creative person again who has a home.
We're looking forward to hearing the songs that come out of that.
Thank you.
And that's a great answer. That quote, the performance is very different than creativity. I wrote that down. I like that a
Yeah.
lot. Because it's very true. I mean, you're talking to two creative people, and then every couple times a year we'll do live shows, or like I'll do like readings or poetry stuff, and it's such a different mindset from being like locked in and playing with your friends, and then like getting up there. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. You can be creative. You can approach your performances creatively, but it's a totally different like part of your
yeah,
brain that's being worked and sharing yourself. Yeah, it's like it's just this very public, energetic thing instead of this like private focus thing.
totally, man. And that's a fantastic place to end, Missy. We can't thank you enough. This is a dream come true, and we'd love your band. And also, I'm gonna go this far. Your answers are incredible.
Oh, thank you.
You're ideal for this. Yeah,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Oh
Agreed.
my God. We
That's
love
very
you.
kind of you to say. Thank you.
Can we just be best friends? All three of us.
Here we go. Every week we'll just like kind of get here, get some new questions going.
I'll steal boxes for you if you really need it. So
Hopefully there'll be no boxes left like at the end of this weekend. I'm very excited. We'll see.
All right.
You got this, Abby. You got this.
I feel
You
so
got this.
judged.
I said this recently. I was like, I only judge my own house, not anyone else's.
No, yeah.
I know.
You know the best way for you to live.
I'd love ending on laughter. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.